So right behind me is a rally and protest at the Stonewall National Monument here in New York City. This comes after queer and transgender references were removed from the Stonewall National Monument description. The site used to say LGBTQ+, now it just says LGB.
We will not let you erase the existence of our trans siblings.
That's right!
This is part of a series of moves done by the administration when President Trump signed the executive order where the government would only recognize two biological sexes, male and female.
These kids are growing up seeing that their existence is wrong, and it's not true, and I'm standing here today to let you all know that it's not true.
Did you know that while HIV rates around the country have mostly held steady, there's one group where rates have continued to rise, Latinos. The CDC says the reason for this is stigma, racism, and poverty.
This is not just about ending HIV for Latinos, it's about ending HIV for our nation, and we can't do that if we don't address the Latino epidemic.
Clinics like Pineapple Healthcare in Florida are vital in offering Latinos free medication and affordable care in Spanish.
55 to 60% of our patients are either only Spanish speaking or they're bilingual. We do have a lot of people here in Florida that are immigrant and they don't know about the accessibility for healthcare here.
Pensamos que por preguntar tenemos un costo y no. Simplemente tocando una puerta, lo peor que nos pueden decir es que no.
Go to NBCUacademy.com to see how this HIV clinic is helping Spanish-speaking patients. Breaking news, the three men behind the deadly drugging that terrorized New York City gay bars have been found guilty. The three men were convicted in the deaths of Julio Ramirez and John Umberger, who were found dead in similar circumstances in 2022. These men allegedly gave their victims a mix of drugs including fentanyl and cocaine. And once they were disoriented, they stole their phones, drained their bank accounts, and went on multiple shopping sprees. After just a few short weeks of testimonies and evidence, the jury took just a day to reach their verdict, including counts of murder, robbery, and conspiracy. Sentencing is set to take place in April. I'll be posting more updates on this story as it unfolds. Everyone meet Gunny. He's a certified rescue and cadaver dog, part of a first-of-its-kind, native-led canine search group. His owner, Bernadine Bayo, launched the Four Corners Canine Search and Rescue Team to help her Navajo community find their missing relatives.
When we finally realized how many families were out there not getting the help they needed from different agencies, police, FBI, all of it, and just getting phone calls from these other families out there, I was just like, man, this is crazy. We need to do something.
Since 2022, the team has gone on over 100 searches for 30 Navajo families in Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. That's over 27,000 square miles.
These guys are fulfilling a purpose, and through that purpose, we're helping families that need it.
Currently, the Navajo Nation has over 77 missing person cases. Some of them have been open since the 1970s. This isn't just an issue for the Navajo, but across other tribes. Native Americans are reported missing at a higher rate than the general U.S. public.
I always tell other tribes that we need to be our own resource. So we want to share this knowledge of what we started here and get other tribes to start their own search and rescue teams.
Tranquilina Morales moved to New York City 10 years ago from Mexico, and she found herself working for a family that demanded 12-hour workdays and roles that she didn't sign up for.
Morales said, "They never paid me for the extra hours I put in. I was paid $15 an hour to cook, clean, and care for 3 kids."
Speaking up for herself never really seemed like an option. And for a long time, she didn't realize that she was earning less than half the average nanny's pay.
I felt betrayed, not even about the money, but because I trusted them.
It wasn't until a friend connected her to the Carroll Gardens Nanny Association when she finally decided to leave the family and fight for her rights. Learn more about Tranquilina's story at NBCUacademy.com. 13-year-old Zoe Darius is a cancer survivor. She's celebrating 3 years cancer-free with fellow survivors on the Colorado slopes.
It was really nice to know that there are other people out there just like me.
For 2 decades now, the Sunshine Kids has been taking kids like Zoe on dozens of trips a year.
Those bonds will help them as they move forward to battle their disease and realize that they don't battle alone.
For Zoe, the ski trip only reinforces that optimism she's held onto throughout her journey.
I gotta keep my confidence. There's always one good thing about each day. Always one. There's at least one. Always.
What advice do you have to a kid like yourself who one day might battle cancer?
I know things look tough right now, but I promise you it's gonna get better and that you should never, ever, ever give up.
I didn't get out of bed for days. I would have moments of joy with friends, family, but they were fleeting. I just felt very alone.
This is Melanie Stewart. She served in the military since the age of 18 and retired after 25 years of service. After losing her ex-husband and father just 3 months apart, she grappled with depression, loneliness, and anxiety. The transition from soldier to civilian life also weighed on her. It wasn't until she went to the Big Red Barn retreat in South Carolina where she found a way to release it all.
Feel that tension that it brings us and release it.
It gave me a tangible representation of what I was holding on to.
7 in every 100 U.S. veterans struggle with PTSD. On average, more than 17 veterans take their own lives every day. The Big Red Barn Retreat offers archery, other activities, and peer support, focusing on post-traumatic growth. They've served over 2,500 veterans since 2017.
This is a place of their peers, fellow veterans, fellow combat veterans, fellow first responders. The wall starts coming down and they realize we're just here to help. We're here to restore hope.
To learn more about how these veterans are healing at this retreat, visit NBCUacademy.com. In the 1950s, 80-year-old Cheryl Pula was a student at Riverside Indian School, one of 400 Indian boarding schools funded by the U.S. from 1819 to the 1970s. For generations, tens of thousands of Native American children were taken from their families and forced to learn Euro-American culture. Today, Cheryl is still coping with the loss of aspects of her identity.
Our language was never taught because it was forbidden. I wished I could speak it, but I can't.
Many Native children at boarding schools suffered abuse. According to a 2022 report from the Interior Department, at least 500 Native children died while attending Indian boarding schools in the U.S.
And we don't even know what they have gone through for us to be here today.
By the 1920s, the government slowly started shifting control of these schools back to the tribes. As leadership evolved, so did the curriculum. Today, Riverside Indian School is one of 4 Indian boarding schools left in the country. It's home to nearly 400 students from 60 Native American tribes who are now reclaiming their culture, history, and language. Cheryl wants today's Riverside students to have what she didn't.
I think they have a good opportunity to go far.